Now on CoastTV News.
Remembering Charlie Kirk. The prayer vigils taking place in the U.S., including one held last night in Georgetown as fallout continues after the assassination of the conservative activist.
Teacher staffing trends.
We are seeing nationally that we are leading in this area.
Why Delaware is in a better position than other states when it comes to a teacher shortage in schools.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Some patchy fog to start, 50s and 60s. Clouds on the increase ahead of a coastal low. I'll have the latest on how that will impact Delmarva coming up.
Goodbye, summer charges. Free parking returns to the coast this week. We have when and where for this local sign that summer is ending.
This is CoastTV News Today.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, September 15th. I'm Matt Pensick.
And I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah, we're September 15th. There are 30 days in this month,
Yeah.
so we are in the exact middle of September.
Yeah, week 2 of the NFL has come and gone. College football, it's well underway. And baseball season's heating up too, which...
I was hoping this morning we'd be talking about a Phillies division clinch. Our first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobono, is with us too.
Kind of likes the Phillies.
He was hoping for that as well. Didn't quite happen. Didn't work out on Sunday, Chris.
Nah, got my Eagles win, but we'll have to wait this week for that Phillies clincher. But we are seeing some calm conditions out there today. This morning in Dover, 62 right now. Could see some patchy fog this morning, not seeing much in the way of it at this moment, but temperatures right now milder at the coast with that wind coming off the ocean, 70 Rehoboth, but we're at 60 Long Neck, 59 in Millsboro, 57 Delmar, to 58 in Bridgeville. You can see that wind flow out of the northeast. Wind gusts upwards of 20-25 miles an hour. It's going to be pretty windy as we go into the day tomorrow. Breezy today, clear skies, but all eyes are on this coastal low just off the Carolinas. This is going to begin to push north and then eventually kind of northwestward as we go into the night and then eventually tomorrow. So we're looking at a rather unsettled stretch of weather beginning late tonight. So we begin the week mild, dry to start, but this coastal low is really going to be kind of giving us going to be a little thorn in our side Tuesday, really into Thursday morning. So it's going to be kind of an extended stretch of some soggy, dreary weather. So we start the day with some sun and then quickly cloud up as we go into the afternoon with highs today reaching the mid to upper 70s. Coming up, we'll track the showers rolling in tonight, and I'll have details on how much rain we can expect to see once all is said and done. We'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on. Matt.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour is how people are responding after the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Now, one of those responses occurred last night in the Georgetown Circle.
And you can see here hundreds of people attended the prayer and candlelight vigil organized by Sussex County Republicans.
They described the vigil as a time of reflection, remembrance, and resolve. Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at Utah College in one of his signature Prove Me Wrong events.
And Republican leaders who spoke are calling for unity and continued dialogue with those you disagree with.
And this morning, investigators are working to understand what led to that shooting. Republican Governor Spencer Cox says the suspect is not cooperating with authorities.
NBC's Bofti Iman shows us since the assassination, employees of airlines, schools, and hospitals have faced firings and discipline over online posts seen as mocking or celebrating Kirk's death.
As crowds gather to pay tribute to conservative activist Charlie Kirk, charges are expected to be filed Tuesday against the alleged shooter, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, says Utah's Governor Spencer Cox.
He does come from a conservative family, but his ideology was very different than his family.
State records show Robinson is not affiliated with a political party, nor did he vote in the 2 most recent general elections. Kirk was critical of transgender people and trans rights, and Governor Cox says Robinson disliked Kirk and his viewpoints. Part of the pieces of information gathered during interviews with loved ones, including the suspect's former roommate, who was also his boyfriend.
A boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female, so we know that piece. I will say that that person has been very cooperative.
But he says that's not the case with the suspect, who's not cooperating. The governor adding the roommate had no idea about Robinson's possible plans. Meanwhile, in Washington,
trying to calm the nerves.
The unease around security for members of Congress continues as some cancel events or move them indoors.
When Charlie Kirk was shot, I said to somebody immediately, that could be you or me.
Plans for a massive memorial are underway for this Sunday, and it's expected to draw thousands, including President Trump.
I'm going to be going to Charlie's, I guess you'd call it a funeral. There's the small one. I said, can we do the big one? Because we're going to give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is a big deal.
The movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen.
Kirk's wife spoke publicly for the first time, calling her husband a martyr and vowing to continue his legacy, which has gained even more support after his assassination. In Washington, Bofta Imam, NBC News.
Tonight, Ocean City looking to move forward with several projects in fiscal year 2026. It includes a 14th Street generator for the water department and fleet and garage renovations. First reading of the ordinance is scheduled for the mayor and council meeting with the general obligation municipal purpose bonds not to exceed $52 million.
New this morning, the 2025-2026 school year is underway, and Delaware schools are continuing to fight back against a teacher shortage. According to the Delaware Department of Education, as of August 15th, there were a total of 466 teacher openings in Delaware, 55 of those being in Sussex County. The department says Delaware is making great progress in filling vacancies.
We are seeing nationally that we are leading in this area. So post-pandemic, Delaware has grown its educator workforce more than any other state in the nation.
And Dr. Saylor says they're seeing a lot of people from different careers transition into education. The Delaware Department of Education says it will follow up with an update on vacancies this week. Tomorrow, the Sussex County Council is expected to consider a zoning change request turning farm property on Route 24 from agricultural residential to a C4 planned commercial district. The Bellmead Farm plans for apartments and retail has been in the works for months, with some delays after zoning, and decided that they wanted to hear from the Cape Henlopen School District, who has 2 schools less than half a mile away. We've covered this for months, and here's what folks had to tell us this spring when the project was in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I came here because I felt that it was less congested than New York. You know, coming out of Queens, New York and going into Long Island, that's really a headache of traffic. So it looks like they're heading that way too.
And the Sussex County Council has a public hearing on Bellmead tomorrow at 1:30.
In Delaware, a bill dealing with books in schools and libraries is about to become law because today Governor Matt Meyer is expected to sign the Freedom to Read Act. That's House Bill 119. The legislation says books cannot be banned because of who wrote them, their background, or their viewpoints. Also, books cannot be pulled from shelves due to political, ideological, or religious objections. Under the bill, both public and private school libraries must create policies on how book challenges are handled. Any book under review must stay available until that process is finished. And for more information on requirements for school and the public libraries in Delaware based on the legislation, you can head to that article right now on CoastTV.com. And that's not the only bill that the governor is signing on Monday. According to Governor Meyer's office, he's also expected to sign Senate Bill 80. This legislation aims to protect people from strategic lawsuits against public participation that leverage courts to silence criticism. The governor says this legislation will strengthen Delaware's current anti-SLAPP law and ensure the First Amendment rights. And you won't hear this sound much longer, as today is the last day for the paid parking season in most coastal towns. Rehoboth Beach, Dewey Beach, Bethany Beach, and Fenwick Island's meters go off on Tuesday, but parking at the beach in Lewis will cost you through September 30th. Even later downtown, that will be through October 14th. At the Ocean City Inlet, you have to pay the meter through Halloween. In Lewis, it's the realization of a goal after years of fundraising efforts. Settlement on the 4th Street Force. It's happening today. The Greater Lewis Foundation raised the money and will transfer the property to the city, who will keep the parcel open space in downtown Lewis. And we're just getting started this morning on Coast TV News Today. Yeah, coming up, playground petition progress. We'll tell you how a request for changes at Canal Front Park could move forward tonight in Lewis. Also, protest ordinance problems. Pushback could be making progress in Ocean View as some locals continue to disagree with a new ordinance. And beach erosion relief. What you need to know about parking at the Indian River Inlet as that area prepares for a big replenishment project. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend as we take a live look into Salisbury. Temperature there 59 degrees, dew point 60. Winds are relatively calm. Not seeing much in the way of fog this morning, but we could see some dense fog, some patchy dense fog in some low-lying areas through the morning. Well, it was a beautiful weekend. We had temperatures at 80 on Saturday, 82 yesterday. Now we are going to trend cooler and more unsettled here through the week. We're at 70 in Rehoboth, 56 there in Redden to 58 in Laurel. High pressure to our west, but we do see showers and that area of low pressure to our southeast. So we start the day with some sunshine, but we're going to quickly cloud up through the afternoon with temperatures right around 61, lower to mid 70s through the afternoon, and then we get into a rather unsettled stretch of weather. We'll talk more about how much rain we could expect to see with this coastal low coming up.
More beach nourishment coming to the Indian River Inlet. That's according to Delaware Seashore State Park. And starting today, equipment getting in place to move 500,000 cubic yards of sand from the Ebb Shoal onto the beach. Parking in parts of the beach will close 1,000 at a time, starting at the North Jetty and continuing north.
And this is footage of when the dunes on the north side of the inlet breached in 2024. Good news, the dunes did withstand the recent hurricane, but this new work is expected to bolster the beach even more.
Got a heads up for drivers in Rehoboth Beach. Starting today, Munson and Christian streets are getting work. City says it will replace water mains and pave the streets through Wednesday.
And President Donald Trump says he's talking with China about the future of TikTok. Those talks come just days before a critical deadline that will determine whether the popular social media app remains available in the United States or goes away. Congress passed a law last year requiring TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, to sell the app to an American buyer or face a ban in the U.S. It's possible the president could extend the deadline again when it comes up on Wednesday.
Facebook users are starting to receive payments that are tied to the social media giant's $725 million settlement related to the Cambridge Analytica scandal. The now closed marketing firm was accused of getting Facebook user information in order to target voters during the 2016 presidential election. Multiple lawsuits were filed against Facebook that claimed the company allowed information to get to third parties without permission.
Well, it's a pleasant and dry start to our Monday with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. We'll see some sun to start, clouds on the increase ahead of a coastal low that will bring rain, wind, and high surf to the peninsula. We'll talk all about it coming up my full 7-day forecast.
Time is 5:17 and you are looking live at the lights of the Ferris wheel at the Ocean City Inlet. Conditions were right for the Walk for Prostate Cancer over the weekend, Chris, that you and I were at.
Oh yeah, it was a fun morning. We had beautiful weather. We were walking with everybody, meeting some great people out there, all for that great cause. And visibility right now, not too bad. Could see some patchy fog here through sunrise. Temperatures, though, not all that bad to start. We're at 59 Milford to 60 in Georgetown, 59 Millsboro, and we're in the lower 70s along the coast. You can see that wind flow out of the northeast. Now, winds today are going to be gusting upwards of 20, 25, but really going to begin cranking up tomorrow, as you'll see here momentarily. Dew points right now, upper 50s to lower 60s, but we're going to be kind of tropical-like here over the next few days with this area of low pressure coming up from the south. It's going to bring in some mugginess to the area. Now we have small craft advisories up through the Delaware coast. Gale warnings now up. These kick into effect midnight through Tuesday night and could see some winds upwards of 40, 45 miles an hour. High surf advisory for Accomack County. Wave heights by Tuesday in that part of the peninsula upwards of 7 to 9 feet. Now we're dry right now. You can see some showers off the coast. The main area of low pressure is off the Carolinas, and this is going to kind of meander northward through the day today and then eventually spread moisture in our area primarily tonight, Tuesday, and then we'll see scattered showers and drizzle Wednesday and even some lingering showers into Thursday. So it's going to be a kind of an extended stretch of some dreary weather. Today 77, sun to clouds, breezy afternoon, 77 Cambridge, northeast winds 10 to 20, 76 in Snow Hill. Now this latest run of this model being a little bit more aggressive with the shower, I think the showers kind of hold off until Monday tonight. Overnight, So we could see a few showers into Chicotee, but then as we go into the overnight, notice how these showers kind of start pivoting in off the ocean. So tomorrow morning, rainy, some scattered showers, some pockets of moderate rainfall, even a rumble of thunder. And then as we go into Tuesday afternoon, again, can't rule out a rumble of thunder, but the showers are going to be very spotty in nature, very damp. And then that shower activity will even continue into Wednesday. So rainfall totals are going to generally be in the order of 1 to as high as 1.5 inches. Could see some locally higher amounts as we go late tonight into early Thursday morning. Winds today gusting 20, 25 miles an hour, but notice tomorrow we're upwards of 40, 45 miles an hour out of the northeast, continuing into Tuesday night. And then as we go into Wednesday, we should see those winds begin to relax. So there's that area of low pressure to our south through midweek. It will eventually begin to lift northeastward as we go into the day on Thursday, and that sets the stage for a really nice end to the week. So we're at 76 today, PM clouds. We'll see showers develop, drizzle with some patchy fog, 64. We're at 72 tomorrow, a dreary, rainy day where we have the yellow alert in play, 74 into our Wednesday, morning showers Thursday, Friday, well, that high note there. We end the week with an 84-degree temperature, and the weekend right now looking pretty good, Matt.
Thank you for that, Chris. Protests continue in Ocean View. This is over an ordinance critics say restricts the First Amendment.
On Saturday, the group Indivisible Southern Delaware took to Main Street speaking out against that controversial ordinance that created time, place, and manner restrictions on protesting in town.
Some of those regulations include fees up to $150, the needing of a permit 36 hours in advance, and limiting the gatherings between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m.
Indivisible Southern Delaware says they did not get a permit for this weekend's protest intentionally, and that they are fighting for everyone's rights to protest, not just their own.
They cannot prevent us from protesting because they may not particularly care for our message or anybody's message. So it's not just for my free speech, it's even for the people that don't agree with me. They have every right to come out and peacefully protest as well.
And according to town officials, the goal of the ordinance is to promote safety and protection of public property. After deferring action over last week, the Ocean View Council is set to introduce a new ordinance repealing the original protest next month.
Happening today, a water line replacement in Salisbury will require a brief road closure. The city says the Department of Waterworks will complete it on 1100th Block Riverside Drive. That street will be closed to drivers between Woodland Road and Douglas Road. The city says work begins at 9 a.m. and is expected to be finished around 3:30.
Maryland Folk Festival is almost here, and that means several road closures across downtown Salisbury. According to the city's website, this is to make room for stages, vendors, and thousands of visitors. The city is closing streets in phases, and that starts tomorrow. Some of the closures include Circle Avenue, Main Street, and Market Street. All streets will reopen by Thursday, September 25th. The Maryland Folk Festival takes place from the 19th to the 21st.
Up next on Coast TV News today, playground petition progress. Despite recent safety upgrades, we'll tell you why one local in Lewis is fighting for a change at Canal Front Park. We'll be right back. Happening today, cautions at Canal Front Park are back up for discussion. According to the agenda for the Lewis Parks and Recreation Commission, there could be action on a request to put a fence around the park. The playground reopened this spring with accessibility upgrades, but now some parents are asking the city of Lewis for more. Siobhan Park started a petition asking for the installation of a fence. Park says she worries about the risk of drowning and the proximity to the water, and says a fence is an added layer of security.
In no way does a fence replace parental supervision. I think anyone who has been to the playground with several children can attest, like I said, to how quickly toddlers can be. This is not a replacement, it's an added layer of protection.
And the Lewis Parks and Recreation Commission will meet tonight at 5 o'clock.
And with that petition for added fence, here's some of the current features of safety at Canal Front Park. With an estimated total cost of over $455,000, Canal Front Park avoided using mulch and instead built the park with safety surfacing. That's in order to reduce the risk of injury when children fall. In addition to the large pirate ship with a slide, children can enjoy a merry-go-round with wheelchair accessibility.
And it was a beautiful weekend. The sun was shining, but unfortunately on a Monday, Chris, the sun is not going to be out. It's going to have an extended weekend, I think.
Yeah, I know we got some of the clouds, Chris. I got to tell you, though, anecdotally, the ocean water temperature over the weekend.
I'm glad you made it to the beach, Matt.
I'm
glad.
It remains nice, hoping that continues.
Yeah, we're seeing temperatures still in the lower to mid 70s, and we have a nice weekend down the road, so that's something to look forward to. But we're beginning the day in Ocean City, 71 degrees there, winds out of the northeast at about 6 miles an hour. Now, we do have a moderate risk of rip currents today, high risk tomorrow. We start the day with some sun, increasing clouds throughout the afternoon, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Now, we'll start the day with some sunshine. Highs generally in the lower to mid 70s as we make our way over into Cambridge. 63 here through about 7 a.m. Highs generally in the upper 70s there, with cloud cover really beginning to increase through the afternoon. Kathy Singel, Milton, Delaware, you're the winner of our Paul Davis Weather Umbrella, and you can get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert Weather phone. We'll have a look at that rain coming in tonight and that full 7-day forecast in the next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on CoastTV News today, paid parking updates as the season comes to an end. Some coastal communities will tell you what areas still require a fee for the stay.
Also, the new school year underway, how Delaware is working to tackle a nationwide teacher shortage.
And we show you a vigil in Georgetown in honor of conservative activist Charlie Kirk as the nation continues to react and top leaders are speaking out. CoastTV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Show of faith. The growing tributes for Charlie Kirk after his assassination last week, including one Sunday night in Georgetown.
Ocean City Investments, the initiatives that are getting funded for fiscal year 2026 and the action tonight that could move them forward.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Some patchy fog to start, 50s and 60s. Clouds on the increase ahead of a coastal low. I'll have the latest on how that will impact Delmarva coming up.
School hiring hurdles, how Delaware is addressing a nationwide trend of a teacher shortage.
This is Coast TV News Today.
September 15th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
The time is 5:31 a.m. Happy morning for our Eagles and Raven fans out there.
I'm happy for the Eagles fans. I can't say the same about the Ravens fans.
Still bitter.
Kind of ruined the rest of my Sunday. Yeah. All right, well, Chris is happy this morning because Chris is an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
2-0, Chris, what is that like?
It feels pretty good, you know? Rolling into next week's game against the Rams. Well, I'll tell you what, we're doing pretty good this morning. Stepping outside the door in Dover, we're at 62 degrees there. Dew point around 60, so a little bit of mugginess out there. Not much in the way of widespread fog, but some isolated, dense, patchy fog is possible, at least through sunrise. Well, further away from the coast, we're in the 50s, 59 Delmar through 59 Salisbury, 55 there in Harrington, a bit milder there along the coast in the lower 70s with that northeast wind coming off the warmer ocean. Seen some gusts upwards of 20 there, Indian River Inlet. So we're free of any precipitation at the moment, but we do see some scattered showers just off the coast, and that's ahead of an area of low pressure that's developing off the Carolinas, and this is going to kind of meander northward throughout the day today and then eventually spread showers into our area. So we start the day with some sun, clouds increase through the day. It's breezy, squeezing out some highs in the mid to upper 70s. Showers roll in tonight, and that really kicks off an unsettled stretch of weather. Scattered rain through Tuesday, Wednesday, lingering into early Thursday. That rain could be heavy at times, even a rumble of thunder possible as we go into the day tomorrow. Wind and high surf will be the deal along the coast. And then the good news is we dry out late week, and the late part of the week looks pretty nice, especially by Friday. So we begin in the lower 60s, mid to upper 70s this afternoon as we quickly cloud up. So a mostly cloudy afternoon. We'll track the showers on Futurecast and have details on when the 80s make a return to Delmarva coming up in that 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour, people filling the Georgetown Circle on Sunday to remember slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, you can see here hundreds of people attended the prayer and candlelight vigil was organized by Sussex County Republicans.
Organizers described the vigil as a time of reflection, remembrance, and resolve. Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at Utah Valley University in one of his signature Prove Me Wrong events.
Republican leaders who spoke are calling for unity and continued dialogue with those you disagree with.
And as crowds gather to pay tribute to conservative activist Charlie Kirk, charges are expected to be filed Tuesday against the alleged shooter, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. That's according to Utah's Governor Spencer Cox. Plans for a massive memorial are underway for next Sunday, and it's expected to draw thousands, including President Trump.
Be going to Charlie's, I guess you'd call it a funeral. There's the small one. I said, can we do the big one? Because we're going to give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is a big deal.
And Kirk's wife spoke publicly for the first time, vowing to continue his legacy.
Tonight, Ocean City is looking to move forward with several projects in fiscal year 2026. It includes a 14th Street generator for the water department and fleet and garage renovations. First reading of the ordinance is scheduled for the mayor and council meeting with the general obligation municipal purpose bonds not to exceed $52 million.
Well, class is back in session, and a challenge across the nation and in Delaware has been the teacher shortage.
Yeah, we caught up with the Delaware Department of Education to learn where schools in Sussex County stand when it comes to filling teacher vacancies.
The 2025-2026 school year is underway, and many may be wondering how Delaware schools are doing after years of dealing with a teacher shortage. According to the Delaware Department of Education, as of August 15th, there are a total of 466 teacher openings in the state, 55 of those in Sussex County. The department says Delaware is making great progress in filling vacancies.
We are seeing nationally that we are leading in this area. So post-pandemic, Delaware has grown its educator workforce more than any other state in the nation. So that's promising.
But Dr. Michael Saylor, Chief of Staff with the Delaware Department of Education, says there's one area of education that needs the most help right now.
We're seeing the greatest need in high school right now, and it's in the 4 content areas. So our largest shortages right now are in math, science, social studies, and language arts.
Dr. Saylor says they're seeing a lot of people from different careers transition into education. The department says it's addressing shortages with programs like teacher residencies and para-to-teacher pathways. Amanda Howard, a kindergarten teacher at Longneck Elementary School, encourages people to consider a job in education because it is so fulfilling.
It's just such a good feeling knowing that you are creating the future. You are helping the future professions because you have no idea what these kids are going to turn into as adults. They could be doctors, lawyers. You are creating all of these different professions within one classroom.
The Delaware Department of Education says it will follow up this week about the vacancies. When it collected data in August, many positions were still in the interview process or awaiting responses to offers.
That was so smart.
Tomorrow, the Sussex County Council is expected to consider a zoning change request in the Lewis area, turning the Belmead Horse Farm from agricultural residential to a C4 planned commercial district. Debate on Belmead development for apartments and retail has continued for months, with some delays after planning and zoning decided they wanted to hear from the Cape Henlopen School District, who has 2 schools less than a half-mile away from the farm. Sussex County Council has a public hearing on Belmead tomorrow at 1:30 p.m.
Well, you won't hear that sound much longer, as today is the last day for paid parking in most coastal communities. Rehoboth, Dewey, Bethany Beach, and Fenwick Islands meters go off Tuesday, but parking at the beach in Lewis will cost you through September 30th, and even later downtown, it will go through October 14th. At the Ocean City Inlet, you will have to pay the meter through Halloween.
Happening today, west of Harbison, Petty John Road is closing between Gravel Hill Road and Prettyman Road. On your screen, we are showing you a map of this area, and Delaware says that closure starts at 7 a.m. for the week. The department confirms the closure is necessary for a horizontal jack and bore for an off-site water main. Still got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Northside Park safety problems. We'll tell you about the possible changes for electric bikes and scooters that could cost riders.
Also cutting down Kansas City, the big early season win for the Birds in the Super Bowl rematch.
And mobile services in Sussex will tell you how to catch Delaware DMV's limited time initiative. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. Hope everyone had a spectacular weekend as we take a live look into Salisbury, where it is 59 degrees there. Winds relatively calm. Not seeing any widespread fog, but do watch out for some low-lying area fog and some patchy fog along those back roads through the early morning hours. We're at 59 in Laurel, 60 Delmar, 59 Dagsboro to 70 in Lewis. Wind flow out of the northeast. It will begin to become breezy through the afternoon with some winds gusting upwards of 20-25 miles an hour. Rain off the southeast coast there. That is an area of low pressure that's going to lift northward throughout the day today. So we stay dry for the day today. Some sun to start, clouds to finish, with highs reaching the mid to upper 70s, and then that coastal low will eventually spread showers into the area beginning tonight. And we are going to kick off a rather unsettled stretch of weather through tonight, Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe even lingering into early Thursday. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Happening today, drivers should expect to slow down on US 13 in Maryland. The Maryland Department of Transportation State Highway Administration says a single-lane closure will begin on the southbound lanes. You can see that location right here on your screen. It's between Route 12 and Stockyard Road. The agency says crews are expected to complete a resurfacing project by late fall. The DMV On The Go mobile unit is back in Sussex County for the 2025 season. According to the Delaware Division of Motor Vehicles, the traveling office operates 3 days a week now through October 30th. Today it will be at the Lewis Transit Center. On Tuesdays you'll find it at the Milton Shear Center. And on Thursdays the unit will set up at the Harbor Freight Shopping Center in Seaford. The agency says the unit will be open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Here we go again. Eagles, Chiefs. Last time they met, that was 7 months ago, and that's when the Eagles won their second Super Bowl. This time it was a Week 2 matchup in the regular season. This one was in Kansas City. And just before the half, check out Jake Elliott here. 58-yard field goal from way downtown. It's good, and we're tied at 10. Early fourth quarter, Chiefs driving. They're inside the Eagles 10. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce. Kelce bobbles it, and there is Andrew Makuba, who picks it off and takes it 41 yards the other way. And it led to this, the tush push with Jalen Hurts on the keeper. The Eagles go into Kansas City and left little doubt about their ability to defend their Super Bowl title. Eagles are 2-0 after a 20-17 win. It's a home opener Sunday for the Ravens, and they had no trouble taking care of the Browns. Lamar Jackson threw 4 touchdowns and a 41-17 rout. The Ravens pick up their first win of the season, and they head to Detroit next week. And coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, 5:30, it is live. Henlopen Conference Girls Volleyball when Indian River visits Milford. And then catch the final score at 10:30. And on DSN Plus, along with that volleyball matchup, here's your app exclusives. At 4 p.m., Pocomoke hosts Kent Island in field hockey. 4:30 p.m., Kent County takes on Cambridge South Dorchester in boys soccer. And at 5, Saints Peter and Paul go up against Worcester Prep in girls volleyball.
And the fall isn't just for football, it's for marching band too. The Delmarva Sports Network will cover 6 marching band competitions featuring over a dozen schools from across the peninsula. These competitions will stream exclusively on DSN+. The first one is scheduled for Saturday, September 20th. And the 77th Emmy Awards were handed out in Hollywood last night with a trio of shows taking home the most trophies. Rick Damangella has the big winners in this Hollywood Minute.
And the Emmy goes to Adolescence.
British crime drama Adolescence was the big winner at the 77th Emmy Awards. The Netflix series won the Limited Anthology Series or Movie categories for Outstanding Series, Directing, Writing, Supporting Actor for Owen Cooper, Supporting Actress for Erin Doherty, and Lead Actor for Stephen Graham.
I'm just a mixed-race kid from a block of flats in a place called Kirby. So for me, to be here today in front of my peers and to be acknowledged by you is the utmost humbling thing I could ever imagine in my life.
Seth Rogen, The Studio.
In the comedy categories, The Studio was the big winner, taking home 4 Emmys, with Seth Rogen winning lead actor.
I've never won anything in my life. When I was a kid, I bought a used bowling trophy at an estate sale. And my parents were like, yeah, that's a good idea. You should probably buy that.
And returning to the stage for writing, directing, and outstanding comedy series.
It's getting embarrassing. I really appreciate it, in all honesty.
The Pit.
Medical drama The Pit won 3 Emmys for Outstanding Drama Series, Catherine Lanasa winning Supporting Actress, and Noah Wiley for Lead Actor, marking his first Emmy win.
To anybody who's going on shift tonight or coming off shift tonight, thank you for being in that job. This is for you.
And the Emmy goes to The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Arguably the biggest standing ovation of the night went to The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and its win for Outstanding Talk Show.
Sometimes you only truly know how much you love something when you get a sense that you might be losing it. And 10 years later, in September of 2025, my friends, I have never loved my country more desperately. God bless America. Stay strong, be brave, and if the elevator tries to bring you down, go crazy and punch a higher floor. Woo!
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Well, we begin our Monday with some sunshine to start through the morning, but then as we go into the afternoon, clouds will quickly be on the increase as we reach the mid to upper 70s ahead of a coastal low that will bring some rain beginning tonight. We'll track the rain and I'll have details on how much we can expect to see coming up after the break.
The time is now 5:49 and we are taking a live look outside at Ocean City this morning. And Chris, you've mentioned patchy fog on my way into work this morning. I did hit a little bit of fog, but I didn't see any deer, so you know what? I'll take it. So usually those two mix together for me. So
yeah, that's not a good combination.
No.
You want to be real careful, especially on those back roads this morning for some patchy fog out there. Nothing all that widespread. You can see temperatures right now holding at 70 in Rehoboth and Bethany. We're at 61 Long Neck to 60 Georgetown and 61 in Bridgefield. Winds pretty calm for the most part. Seeing some winds at the coast, 13 to 17 miles an hour. Dew points right now are generally in the upper 50s to lower 60s, but it's going to rather be kind of muggy here over the next few days as we deal with this area of low pressure kind of pulling up some moisture from the south. Now we have small craft advisories up through 6 a.m. as well as a moderate to high risk of rip currents over the next few days. Gale warnings kick into effect midnight tonight through 7 o'clock on Tuesday. Winds as high as 40 miles an hour. And there's that high surf advisory for Accomack County. That's due in part to some wave heights 7 to 9 feet developing as we get into the day on Tuesday. You could see some moisture off the coast. Could see a lingering early shower there in through Chincoteague, southern portions of the peninsula, but most of this rain is going to hang on off the coast really until tonight. We're going to begin to see that rain develop, scattered rain, and then Tuesday, a rainy, damp day, as well as into Wednesday, a few lingering showers into Thursday morning. So we begin the day with some sun. Clouds on the increase through the afternoon, a breezy afternoon with highs reaching the mid to upper 70s. Now, Futurecast a little aggressive with the rain. I think this shower activity holds off until the overnight, and then you could see that rain pivoting in off the Atlantic through Tuesday morning. Some moderate pockets, some heavy rain at times, even a rumble of thunder, I think, as we go into Tuesday afternoon, but on and off showers through Tuesday afternoon through Tuesday evening. Again, a few rumbles of thunder are possible into early Wednesday morning. Some pockets of heavier rain, and then we see some lingering showers and drizzle through late Wednesday into early Thursday. Rainfall totals beginning tonight, ending Thursday morning. 1.5 inches. Could see some locally higher amounts, upwards of 2. Winds today out of the northeast, 20-25 miles an hour. By tomorrow afternoon, cranking. Could see some potentially close to 50 mile an hour wind gusts, 40 to 45, certainly not out of the question. Then as we go into Wednesday, still breezy with gusts upwards of 25. So there's that area of low pressure 2 hours south. Not an incredibly potent area of low pressure, but as the system then lifts to the northeast, we'll begin to see conditions improve certainly by Thursday afternoon, and then Friday we end the week on a very nice note with temperatures back into the 80s. 76 this afternoon with clouds increasing. Showers develop tonight as well as some drizzle, 64, and then scattered showers, isolated storms tomorrow. Windy with periods of rain, heavy at times. We have the yellow alert into effect. Wind gusts upwards of 40, 45 miles an hour, especially at the coast. A dreary day Wednesday, 74, but there's some good news. Light at the end of the tunnel there Friday, 84 degrees under sunny skies.
All right, looking forward to that one. Thank you, Chris. Ocean City is seeing more electric scooters and electric bikes at Northside Park, and now there's concern over safety issues. Currently, the park does have a rule against electric scooters and bikes, but since it's not written into law, there's really no way for anyone to issue fines, and that's what the Ocean City Council is looking to change. The Recreation and Parks Committee is working on an ordinance to restrict electric bikes and e-scooters at Northside Park, which could lead to fines being handed out. One park goer we spoke to thinks this is actually a great idea.
They go too fast, and there's just too many people that are walking through the park, too many little children walking through the park, pets, etc. And I just don't think the reaction time is such with people on e-bikes.
And once this new ordinance is drafted, it will then get proposed to the Ocean City Council. No timeline yet for that.
And the time is now 5:53, so we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day is a rescue loving his new home. Check out your screen for Tybee. As you can see, this 4-month-old is so relaxed he can fall asleep practically everywhere. Tybee was submitted to us by Karen in Harbison.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Yep, that's where the QR code is, top center. Scan that, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
The time is now 5:56, and we're going to take another look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Yeah, actually, we have a little fog on those back roads, Chris, as you get ready to head out today.
Yeah, you want to use some caution here, at least through sunrise. All things considered, not too bad as far as the temperatures are concerned. Upper 50s to lower 60s. We start the day with some sunshine, but then you see we quickly cloud up through the afternoon. So mostly cloudy afternoon, breezy conditions with highs in the upper 70s. Now the coastal low will spread showers into the area late tonight. We have the yellow alert in play for Tuesday with scattered showers, heavy at times. Could even see a rumble of thunder late Tuesday through Wednesday, but we're looking at temperatures lingering in the mid-70s and could see an early morning shower Thursday. So a lot of clouds, a lot of showers through your midweek, but the good news is we end the week on a high note. Sunshine by Friday, 84, and the weekend looking pretty nice right now with temperatures in the mid-70s.
All right, thank you, Chris. And coming up in our next hour, assassination aftermath. While vigils to honor the life of conservative activist Charlie Kirk are taking place in Georgetown and across the nation, why tensions remain high after the tragic event. That and more when Coast TV News Today continues.